Hi everyone, my name is Fischer, also known as the New York City Broker. Today I'm going to share some tips with you regarding rent to own. So what is rent to own? Rent to own, or rent to buy, is a method of buying a home and a part of your rent, or the whole rent, goes toward the purchase of the home that you are renting. Rent to own programs are offered by building owners and builders for sometimes new construction that attract more buyers, especially in a buyer's market. These programs gained a lot of momentum during the pandemic when COVID initially slowed down the real estate market. These programs are not standardized, and each building that offers a rent-to-own program may have its own terms and conditions. A few things that buyers need to understand about rent-to-own programs are the following. Rent-to-own programs are not long-term. They usually last for about 1 to 3 years. The programs may differ from building to building, so it's important to understand the terms and conditions of each program. Depending on your rent-to-own contract, you may be obligated to buy the apartment when your rental lease is up. Since a portion of your rent is usually applied toward the price of the property, the rent is going to be higher than normal. Rent-to-own contracts are complex and require more paperwork, which results in more documentation costs. These programs allow for you to move in and get a feel for the property you like, even if you're unable to afford it at that exact moment in time. It's also ideal for those who are working toward building or improving their credit score to get their mortgage rate. They may start paying toward an apartment 1 or 2 years before they can secure the right mortgage to buy it. And there may be more co-op apartments available for rent to own than condos, although condos are a lot easier of a process when dealing with buying the actual property. So that begs the question, is rent to own a good option for you in New York City? A rent to own apartment can be a great option for some buyers, but not all. For many old, difficult to sell apartments, it's a tactic employed by owners to attract buyers in an unfavorable market. In new construction, especially luxury apartments, it's a way to allow the right buyers to test the apartment before fully committing themselves to buying it. Rent to own can be a good option for buyers who are ready to make a move from renting to buying, but can't make a move just yet. If you need more time to save up for closing costs, or you don't have enough money for a down payment, or maybe you need to build your credit to secure a decent mortgage, rent to own can be a powerful strategy for you. There are some challenges associated with rent to own apartments as well. For example, if you've committed to buy the apartment when the rental lease ends, but your financial situation changes in the meanwhile, you might not get the money that you paid in rent toward the purchase price back. A lender's treatment of the money you have paid toward the purchase price can also make a lot of the difference. The lender should treat it as credit that would apply toward your sale rather than a concession in property price that can lower the amount the bank will lend you for the apartment. So there are two different types of rent-to-own contracts. The lease option contract and purchase contract are two rent-to-own contracts that you should really know about. The lease option contract gives you, the tenant, the option to buy the apartment once your rental lease ends at the fair market value of the apartment at the time of signing the lease. If you decide to buy, you may have the choice to divert the amount you have paid toward the purchase price of the apartment, the premium over the rent, and could go towards the down payment or closing costs. But if you don't buy the apartment, the owner gets to keep all the rent and the premium you've paid over the fair rent. But at least it still gives you a level of control. The lease purchase contract, on the other hand, doesn't give you a way out. If you enter into this rent-to-own contract, you are obligated to buy the apartment at a mutually decided upon price. It might actually be a dollar value, the current market value of the apartment, or the value at the time of signing the deal. The good part about such a contract is that if the contract allows it, all of your rental payments can be counted toward the purchase price. But that's a binding contract, and if you are not 100% certain about the apartment, you should not execute this contract. Thanks so much for joining me in this discussion regarding rent to own. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me at brett@thenewyorkcitybroker.com. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you, your friends, and your family members can get all the best real estate content. I'm Brett Fischer, the New York City Broker. Have a great day.